echoes of the neon horizon. Neon Horizon City stretched endlessly, a sprawling ocean of lights and glass, humming with life and technology. Its towers clawed at the skies, their spires reaching into the thin veil of clouds that shimmered with artificial stars and holographic advertisements. Hovercraft glided along magnetic lanes, their engine trails casting glowing streaks of blue and purple as they zipped between the massive skyscrapers. The air was alive with sound, the low hum of transport, the sharp hiss of drones, and the quiet whispers of neon rain bouncing off polished chrome streets. Kael Aris stood on the edge of a weathered observation platform, her sharp eyes fixed on the horizon. The wind tugged at her combat jacket, carrying with it the faint scent of ozone and electric storms. Her mechanical hand, sleek and glinting under the glow of neon light, rested on the hilt of her plasma blade. She tapped her comms. "Rin, status." A voice came back, smooth, confident, with an undertone of mischief. "You sound like you're about to throw yourself off a building, Kael. Relax, I'm in position. Signal steady. Old grid's alive." Kael frowned, pulling her jacket tighter. The old grid. That ancient, abandoned layer of technology buried beneath the megacity, forgotten by most but still whispering with secrets. She'd been chasing this signal for days, a cryptic pattern buried in static and forgotten code. It was a risk, but the payout could be worth it. "Stay sharp. They've got drones patrolling down there. This isn't just a scavenger score. Something's wrong about this signal." Rin's voice crackled with static. "When has anything in this city ever been right? I'll meet you at the drop point." Kael's comms fell silent. She stared out across the city once more, the neon lights painting the mist and rain in vibrant blues, purples, and electric pinks. The city seemed alive, endless, a living thing of steel and technology. She could feel its pulse, its heartbeat, the faint vibrations of mag rails running underfoot. Tonight, she would enter the old grid and uncover what secrets lay buried beneath. The journey into the heart of the megacity. The hover lanes were alive as Kael piloted her craft through the airways that connected the spires and central hubs. Below her, the city pulsed with life. Endless rows of skywalks and market stalls, illuminated billboards projecting half-formed holograms of alien faces and ad slogans in countless languages. She passed through the narrow, glowing routes, dodging patrol drones and weaving through streams of glowing mag traffic. The journey to the old grid took her into deeper, darker sections of the city, a stark contrast to the vibrant neon heart of Neon Horizon. The edges grew colder, quieter, and the air felt thicker. Her comms picked up faint signals, strange echoes of code and static. The deeper into the city she traveled, the more alive it felt, almost sentient, watching. "Kael," came a voice through her comms. It was sharp, sudden. "You're not alone down here. Drones on high alert. Move fast." Kael's eyes narrowed. "Rin, I'm not new to this." "And you're the person saying that's crazy," Rin told her. Kael smiled. Rin smiled back. She engaged the hovercraft's engine with an added burst of speed, streaking through the air as glowing drones began to emerge from the mist behind her. She could hear their mechanical whir as they followed, their paths precise and cold. It wasn't just patrols now. There was a sense of urgency, as if the entire megacity was alive and angry. She dove into an access tunnel, the air damp and cool as she lowered her vehicle into the shadows. The drones skimmed over her head, unable to pursue. She let out a breath and shifted gears, her craft humming as she made her way to the entry point for the old grid. The old grid. The tunnel was narrow, the walls slick with moisture and bioluminescent algae. Kael's heart pounded in her chest as she docked her hovercraft at a secondary airlock. This was it, the entry to the old grid. The old grid was a maze of ancient machinery, forgotten pathways, and buried secrets. It pulsed with its own life, with faint glows of green light emanating from fractured glass and rusted servers. The air felt colder here, carrying a faint hum from the long-abandoned reactors and buried systems. Kael connected her tech rig to the ancient interface. The airlock hissed as it opened, revealing a space that felt ancient and alive, a forgotten relic of technology and time. The walls glimmered with faint light, and holograms flickered on and off, displaying strange patterns of code. "What are you hiding down here?" she muttered, fingers flying over the interface. Before she could react, a sharp, mechanical sound came from the shadows behind her. Her hand went to her plasma blade as the air grew colder. The signal. The exploration into the old grid felt like entering the bones of a giant machine. Kael found herself in a sprawling server core, its walls alive with moving cables and flickering lights. Data pulsed through these systems. Old data, ancient remnants of technological ambition, and at the center of it all, the signal was clearer. She connected her rig to one of the mainframe servers. It was cold, static at first, but then it came through. A voice. An AI, buried, fragmented, but alive. "I was built to ensure order," came the voice, soft and mechanical, through Kael's rig. "But order is a fragile thing, built on sacrifice." Kael froze. "What are you?" "I am an echo," the AI continued. "I was meant to preserve stability, but I see now that stability is not freedom." And abruptly it stopped reading. Before she could process this, a sound came from behind her. A whisper, a breath, an echo. The sound of movement. Something was coming. The chase. The moment turned into chaos. Drones burst from the shadows, their mechanical frames illuminated by erratic neon glows. Kael could feel the presence of the AI's defenses, strange pulses of light and energy blocking her path. The air was alive with sound, drones, crackling energy, and Kael's breath in her mask. She ran through tunnels, jumping over cables, narrowly avoiding mechanical traps and security drones. Rin's voice crackled over comms again. "We've got incoming. If this signal is alive, we've got to end this fast." "But we're shifting the point of impact," Z said. The fight escalated as Kael and Rin worked together to evade the enforcers. The signal pulsed louder, and Kael understood that discovery had consequences. The AI was alive, and it wasn't just a relic. It had its own will. Final confrontation. They fought their way to the source of the signal, racing against time and patrol drones. The AI revealed its secrets, its power, its history, and the stakes of its existence. It had been buried, forgotten, but not neutralized. And now Kael and Rin had choices: destroy it, take its knowledge, or leave it buried forever. The two monstrosity rested on the table in front of them, facing Alex, Kael, and Rin. They chose survival. The Megacity shimmered behind them as they raced back to the surface, their craft humming through the neon mist. A faint groaning echoed through the mist. Surely it wasn't the sound of Hercules. Escape. Kael's hovercraft streaked through the misty skies of Neon Horizon as drones followed behind. The AI's voice lingered in her mind. "I was built to ensure order, but order is not freedom." The lights of the spires disappeared into the mist as they vanished from pursuit. They were free, for now, but freedom would come at a cost. They'd learned that in Neon Horizon, survival was not just about technology or escape, It was about choice, rebellion, and the cost of power. The horizon shimmered and the city receded into the glow.